morning students, welcome back, ninth standard students. We are discussing about the diversity of living organisms, and today we will conclude that chapter by learning about the class Aves as well as the class Mammalia. By learning about these two topics, we will conclude the total chapter. So from the long back, I think this is the 15th video about that lesson. From the long back we are learning this one. I hope you understood very well in this. And along with this video, I sent some exercises. So you write those exercises in your fair notes, and some of them in your homework also. Daily one exercise or two exercises you have to write in your fair notes. Okay, understood? Okay, so let us learn about the diversity of living organisms, the class Aves. Aves means birds. The animals, birds also animals. The animals which arboreal in nature. Arboreal means which can live in the trees and make their nest in the branches of the trees. Those are called as arboreal organisms, arboreal animals. The animals are the birds which live on the trees and make their nest on the trees. Such type of organisms are said to be as Aves, and these are mostly flight. They can fly in the air, but a few of them cannot fly. Okay, so the examples for these birds Aves is peacock, hen, sparrow, etc. Okay, these are the best examples. Parrot, crow, almost all, eagle, every bird which can fly. Of course, penguin, flightless birds are flightless birds. Flightless birds, penguin, ostrich, emu, penguin, ostrich, emu. Next, kiwi. These are the birds, flightless birds. Why they are flightless? Why they cannot fly in the air? Because their body weight is too much weighted, the body weight is too much. In some birds like penguin, ostrich as well as the emu, in these birds the body weight is too much, so that and also the wings are not properly developed, not functional. Okay, so these birds cannot fly. Whereas kiwi is a small bird, but no wings are presented here. Kiwi is a small bird, no wings are presented, so it also cannot fly. Okay, these are the four birds which cannot fly. These are the flightless birds. Other than these four birds, whatever the birds you take, other than these four, remaining all can fly in the air. How they will fly in the air? They have the limbs. 2 forelimbs are presented, 2 hind limbs are presented, and hind limbs are said to be as legs. Okay, and 4 limbs are modified into wings. forelimbs are modified into wings, and these wings are having the specialized bones, hollow bones. Hollow means no empty space is presented in the bones, and those bones are filled with air, So the bones which are hollow and filled with air, these bones are called as pneumatic bones. So because of this pneumatic bones are presented in the wings of these birds, the birds can fly. And also all the birds are covered with colorful feathers. Suppose you take a peacock, lots of colorful feathers will be presented. Parrot, eagle, whatever the bird you take it, even hen, cock, whatever the bird you take it, those birds' body is completely covered by feathers, colorful feathers. And these feathers will give the beauty to the bird and also attract the opposite gender for sexual reproduction. Attract the opposite gender for sexual reproduction. And also these what are those feathers are very useful for the bird for flying also. Okay, so these birds are completely covered by feathers, and bones, specialized bones, that is pneumatic bones are presented, so they are able to fly. Sexual reproduction will be taking place, and all the birds will be laying the eggs, and eggs are covered by a thick shell-like structure, and also inside the egg most of the material is nutritive material. It is presented in the form of yolk. It's a nutritive material, proteinized material, the egg of the birds. Okay, the smallest bird in the world is a hummingbird. The largest bird in the world is ostrich. And also same thing, the smallest egg laid by the bird is hummingbird, and the largest egg laid by the bird is ostrich. Largest egg is ostrich egg, smallest egg is this hummingbird egg. Okay, so these sexual reproduction takes place, and these have the body structures, and eyelids are presented, but mouth is modified into beak, teethless beak. Teeth never present in the bird's mouth. Mouth is completely modified into beak. With the hind limbs, it will be moving, walking from one place to another place. Sometimes jumping, hopping also will be taking place. But it will fly with the help of only four limbs. Those four limbs are modified into wings. Okay, and these birds are very important. These are the oviparous animals. They lay the eggs, egg laying animals. Oviparous, the animals which lay the eggs, they are called as oviparous animals. Okay, and let us learn about this mammalia. Before learning about this mammalia, some points about apes I want to explain, tell you. That is, internal fertilization will be taking place. Internal fertilization means the fertilization will be occur inside the female body, and they produce the fertilized egg. Those eggs are laid out, and those eggs are hatched by the bird in a certain temperature. Those from the eggs, chicks will be born. Okay, yet internal fertilization will be taking place. and sexual dimorphism will be shown. That means male birds are separate and female birds are separate. Do you know our national bird? Yes, it is a peacock. Our national bird is the peacock and it is a male bird. Okay, what do we call female bird of peacock? That we say the answer for now. Okay, understand? Female bird of the peacock, what do we say? What the name is given for that? Okay, that is the question for you. External, internal fertilization, I told you already that digestive system is well developed and all the birds will excrete uric acid. Excrete uric acid as a waste material along with the water. Uric acid as a waste material along with the water. All the birds I am talking about. Okay, understood now. So now let us move to the class Mammalia. These are the high well developed organisms. Almost all the animals, right from monkey to man, these all comes under the category of this Mammalia. Mammals means the animals whose body is equipped with mammary glands. Mammary glands means milk producing glands. And these milk producing glands are modification of the sweat glands. Modifications of the sweat glands. It means that their body is completely covered by skin. The skin is covered by hair-like projections. Hair will be presented on the skin. So through this, because of this hair, there in the skin, small microscopic pores are presented. Those are called as sweat pores. Sweat pores. And these sweat pores, some of the these sweat pores are connected to the sweat glands. And some of the sweat glands are modified into mammary glands, which can produce the milk after the childbirth. Mammary glands, milk producing glands, and these are presented only in the female's body. Of course, in the males also these are presented, but these are non-functional in the males. But in the females, these mammary glands are well developed and they produce the milk, and the milk is provided to the babies which are born. And here all the mammals will give birth to their young ones directly. They don't lay the eggs. So these animals are called as viviparous animals. Viviparous animals. The animals which give birth to their young ones directly. Those are called as viviparous animals. And these viviparous animals will provide the milk to the babies. That's why these are called mammals. Okay, and their body, they have the ear pinna. You can see here, ear pinna, and the upper eyelid and lower eyelid will be act as a doors for the eyes. Okay, and the digestive system is well developed right from the mouth to anus, and the circulatory system, closed type of circulatory system will be presented in the mammals. Closed type of circulatory system means the blood is pumped by the heart into the blood vessels. The blood is pumped by the heart into the blood vessels. That is called closed type of circulation. Heart is four-chambered heart. Four-chambered heart is presented in the mammals. Even in the birds also, four-chambered heart is presented in the birds. This is the right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. Okay. So the four-chambered heart in the birds also four-chambered heart is presented, but little bit different is there. Let me say that. So here usually the aorta, the largest blood vessel in the body, which takes the blood to all the by from the heart. So in the mammals, it is raging from the left ventricle and bend towards the left auricle. Bend towards the left auricle like this. This is in the mammals. But whereas in the birds, it is raging from the left ventricle but bend towards the right auricle. Bend towards the right auricle. This is aorta. This is also aorta. But this is in birds and this is in mammals. This is in birds and this is in mammals. Okay, that is the difference between the heart development in the birds as well as the mammals. Otherwise, everything is as it is same. Okay, the skin is always keep moisture because of the sebaceous glands are presented. Sebaceous glands are presented along with the sweat glands. In the mammals, sebaceous glands are presented along with the sweat glands, and these sebaceous glands produce the oily substance called as sebum. This will make the body skin moisture all the time. This will make the skin moisture all the time. And in these mammals again, some kind of different animals are there which lay the eggs, and eggs are developed into young ones and feed them with their milk. See, three characters. One is they lay the eggs, and the eggs are developed into young ones, and then parental care should be taken. Parental care means the mammary glands will be presented there and they produce the milk, provide to their babies. And these type of animals having the three characters, these type of animals are called as oviviparous animals. Oviviparous animals. Egg-laying mammals. These are also called as egg-laying mammals. Platypus is the best example for oviviparous animals. Platypus, duck-billed platypus, and echidna are the best examples for this egg-laying mammals or oviviparous animals. And there is one more animal called as kangaroo. This is a specialized animal. This is a specialized animal which give birth to the immature baby. Which give birth to the immature baby. See, there is a pouch-like structure you can see here at the abdominal cavity. There is a pouch-like structure where the baby will be developing. Okay. So here, this is a kangaroo which gives the birth to immature baby. And that immature baby will be nourished by the kangaroo in the pouch that is presented in the abdominal cavity, and these mammary glands also presented for this kangaroo in the pouch itself. So there the baby will be nourished by this animal, taken care by this animal, and furtherly once the baby is developed, it will swing from the pouch and go away from the mother and lead its life individually. This is a complete information about the class Mammalia. Right from the monkey to man, everyone will become in this category. Okay, I hope you are understood all these complete lesson. Diversity of the living organisms is a long lesson, very big lesson. Okay, and along with this video I will send some information also and some this exercises also. You write them in the fair notes daily, 1 or 2 mains, that's all. Okay, not more than that. Okay, thank you very much.